Hey everybody, Jeff here. Wow, Wednesday. I can't believe this. Wednesday, November 30th. Um, I'm turning the big 6-2. Oh, there are many times I thought I would never make it this far. But they say as we get older, we begin to reflect more and more on our lives. We think back, into our memories, and think about our accomplishments, our achievements, question some of those, wonder about our shortfalls. I find that to be true of myself. That started some time ago. Hey, I got, like many people, a lot of woulda, coulda, shouldas, in my memory. But I think back on a lot of the wonderful memories I have as well. And few really reach the magnitude, I think, of my time that I served with my wife Brenda in Wyoming with a Christian ministry in the national parks. And I bring that up because for my 62nd birthday, I'm raising $200 toward a Christian ministry in the national parks. And I hope that you might join with me to help celebrate with your most generous gift. It's really funny. I had applied to a Christian ministry in the national parks, but wasn't sure. This is back, by the way, back in the summer of 1988. Actually, it was in the spring that I think when I was making the application, getting all the references and things, and just out of nowhere, I was really kind of on the edge if I really wanted to go and do this. Um, but you got a call that an opening had come up of all places because I was thinking something near home, so right around Pennsylvania. Um, and I got a call that they needed somebody at the last minute to head up a small team of ministers in Wyoming, in Yellowstone National Park in particular. And by the way, I was still a student, a first year student in seminary, but they said, you're in seminary, that qualifies you. Can you be here at a certain time? And I said to Brenda, let's do it. How do you feel about this? She was all for it. I said, let's do it. And so the next thing I know, we are driving across the country to Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho to serve for the summer with a Christian ministry in the national parks in Yellowstone National Park. Um, it is a cooperative ministry. The Christian ministry in the national parks is a cooperative ministry of ministers in national parks all over the country. Yellowstone, of course, Grand Teton, up in Glacier, down in the Everglades in Florida, up in Acadia in Maine, any place like Grand Canyon. Amazing opportunities to serve Christ in in some of those beautiful, most majestic locations of God's creation you'd ever want to be in. Um, Vital ministry too, by the way. On top of providing weekly worship, again helping people to make that very active connection in the spirit with where they are. As they come into places like Yellowstone, we were in Grant Village. There's also Old Faithful and a number of other locations in Yellowstone itself. But if you're in the Shenandoah National Park, or like I said, in the Everglades or wherever, you're getting really close to nature. You're really getting connected with God's creation, and so you get a chance to provide worship there. But not only the worship, you're one of the first people on site to provide a welcome to folks, to visitors to these sites, especially to the campers, and to remind them that there is a ministry available should they have a need or want to talk or want to pray or just get to again closely connected with their Savior and with their God in these God created places of beauty and adventure as well. Ministers with a Christian ministry in the national park. And again, as you notice, you don't have to be an ordained minister to do it. And you are well trained, as you serve. But you can provide Bible studies, counsel. You're there in times of emergency. in times of need. Sometimes, if there is an emergency on site, you with the ACMP yourself and or your team may be the first ones on site to provide some comfort, some wisdom, some counsel, to offer a shoulder to lean on, an ear to bend, a prayer partner. Um, I had the blessing of serving with three wonderful team members out there. And by the way, when we were there, that, again, I don't know if you noticed, that was the summer of 1988. You might remember, for those of you my age anyway, that was the year that there were so many forest fires in Yellowstone. So much of the park was burning, and we had gotten evacuated. We got evacuated out at least one time, and we were able to return. And the second time, we knew we weren't going to be able to return to our site. And so we were there again to provide some counsel, to provide some guidance, some wisdom, perhaps, some comfort, if at all possible, in some very anxiety-ridden times. It was a challenge, and it was an adventure, and wow, the memories that come with that, and the feeling of certain satisfactions. Yeah, there. As I look back, I was pretty green, made a lot of mistakes, but you know what? There was a great deal of growth, and learned a great deal, and provided some help in a lot of places. One of the things I remember when I was in seminary, in my tradition, a seminary student did not have a lot of opportunity to preach. I had a chance to preach every Sunday, and some other off days as well. And in the setting, our amphitheater was right in front of Yellowstone Lake. It was kind of exciting. Animals every now and then would visit us when we'd be out having worship. And during the fires, while the fires were going on, I remember one point I was in the middle of preaching, and a big helicopter came with its bucket to dip water from Yellowstone Lake to pour out onto the fires. But the bottom line is, uh, amazing opportunity for anybody who wants to participate. And it's an amazing ministry for the guests and the visitors to our wonderful, wonderful national parks. So I hope that I'm going to see about attaching a link to this video. If it's there, please click on it, and please, again, just whatever the Spirit lays on your heart to give, $5, $10, $20, whatever. $200 is a modest gift. And I believe we've raised already $61 toward. I know it's an unusual number, but that's the last record I saw was $61 already. So not that far to go. So I hope you might give generously to it, as you can, as the Spirit leads, as I said. And by the way, and if the link, for whatever reason, after I'm done here, that link doesn't get embedded in here, just watch. I will be reposting. I've already posted the link a few times on my page and out on the public feed and on the news feed. Watch for that, and just click on that, and participate as you so feel led. But I thank you so much for letting me talk to you a little bit about my memories of serving with a Christian ministry of the national parks. Still got friends who served with me. And hey, that was what? Going on 40 years ago, right? 30 some years ago anyway. And it's just lasting memories. And I guess I say that because not only do you have that opportunity to give a gift, but if you feel so led, take a look at your own service in there. You can be of any age. And like I say, you don't have to be an ordained minister. You don't even have to be in seminary to serve. As a matter of fact, Brenda and I are thinking, one day we've toyed around with this of going back and serving with them at some point. Just getting ourselves a camper and going on site. The ministry you do is all voluntary. You get to work with the concessionaires who are there. I was a room attendant. Brenda worked in the restaurant as a manager. Big friends there, and you get to have a wonderful, wonderful influence, a Christian influence on the guests and the staff alike. You're there for everyone, and wow, that's powerful. So, hey, thanks again. click on the link when you get it, and or again if you see it here. And I hope to hear from you soon. Meanwhile, God's blessings to you, and take care. And I'll see you again. Speak with you sometime soon. Take care.